A very good evening once again, everyone. It is always a pleasure to be here on Thursday. As I was saying earlier, this is a graduation season. We do understand people are busy with the graduations for the past week, this week. But again, this is our program to have education again. Every Thursday, we are here on our financial literacy and money matters. And we don't want to miss it for anything. We do understand for sure that people might be busy, but at the same time, we make it intentional to have a recording for those people who are not able to make it. Because we know, again, education is power, and consistency helps us to actually keep going. Although the busy schedules might be there, but we keep actually going. Again, welcome this evening. My name is Immaculate Businje. It is always a pleasure to learn with you. This is a community crusade whereby we come, learn together, share financial knowledge here. We learn as a team, as a community. No one is here just to lecture, but we appreciate when everything is done interactively. So our topic tonight is, as you can see on the screen, financial freedom starts with a plan. As we can know, everything, if you don't have a plan, obviously you don't know where you're going. If you don't have a GPS and you start off driving out of state or anywhere you're going, you might get lost. So it is the same with our finances. To get that financial freedom, financial independence, we all look for, we need to start with a plan. So to be able to protect our families, build the wealth, leave a legacy, everything starts with a plan. So that is what we're going to be sharing tonight. That is what we're going to be discussing and sharing together as a community here. So we really want to learn together. So on our agenda, we will talk about what is financial freedom. When you think about financial freedom, when we hear about financial freedom, what comes to your mind? Or when we talk about planning, why should we actually plan? In planning, we also need to protect those finances. Here we're talking about finance, again, financial freedom, financial planning, and then building wealth. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight as we discuss, as we learn together. So you build that wealth, and then again, you plan. We are in the building phase now. We are making so much money. We are doing everything, but we have to think about that day when working and building is not going to be possible, and then we'll be able to reap what we actually planned. That's the same thing, the power of that planning. And then after we retire, what happens? Sometimes we will go, but what are we going to leave behind? And after that, we'll talk about the next action, what taking the action or the next step. So here we're talking about what is that financial freedom? When we talk about that, what is it? So being financially actually free means that you're free from stress, from financial stress. You've reached a point whereby you don't have to stress or to struggle thinking about where the next bill will come from, my next mortgage, my next rent, my next car bill, anything you want to pay. You don't have to be checking your account to make sure that you're actually making ends meet. That is what they call actually being financially free, being free from that financial stress. Then ability to make the choices. When you have enough financial, when you have really planned well your finances, you're able to make choices because you're not limited by the income. You're able to choose when to take a break, when to take that vacation, when to buy something you really need or your family needs. So you're not limited by choices because you have enough finances or you have planned well. Then it takes you to the confidence in the future. When you talk about the future again, That is where we are heading. We are heading into the future. The young people are growing up, going to be starting families. Your kids are going to be going to school. The older ones are also heading towards the future, whereby they will be planning again for the retirement. And then securing security for your family. It could be now, it could be today. If I have a family, is my family safe? Do I have the safety net? Do I have emergency funds? Do I have actually insurance to protect my family just in case? Because I'm there, not possibly financially stressed now because the income is coming in. I'm able to make my choices. But if that income was to stop, did I put a safety net in place to make sure that my family is secure? That is what that means. That is that lock, making sure that no one is kicking my kids out of the home or out of school when unthinkable, unplanned actually happens. Then how do we protect that income? We talk about the plan. We plan for what we make. We plan for the future, but we have also to remember to put those safety nets in place because most of the time we talk about wealth is easily, you can easily make the wealth, make the income, it can be easily built. You can actually build your income slowly, but when it comes to getting down, it crashes if it is not being added on. So we always say a family that saves like 10% consistently is often better than a higher earner. You may be a higher earner, making 100,000, 200,000, but not being able to plan. If you're not planning, you would rather make 50,000 and be able to possibly put aside the 10%. So that was what we're talking about. You protect your income by putting aside maybe 10%, 5%, making sure that you're protecting that safety net you made, your family, your future. Then those emergency funds, I was talking about that earlier. You have always to make sure that if something was to happen to you today, you don't crash, just not even in 6 months. You always have to make sure that if something was to happen unplanned, unprepared, at least you had that planned emergency funds to take you through those moments whereby you did not plan for that. So the risk management, how do you curb those risks if they come? By again proper planning for your whole life. Don't think that I'm young, I have time, I can start planning tomorrow, because you never know. Your today might be better by your tomorrow. Or we have some graduates who are graduating right now, finishing college, feeling like, hey, I'm going to earn more money like in 2 years to come or 5 years to come. But we forget that we never know. We don't foresee what 5 years from today will bring to us. So start today. Whatever you're making today, start planning. That is the power of everything that we actually make. So everything that we build, that freedom that starts with the planning, now we can look into what are the best actually steps we can use to build our income. That is a pyramid. This pyramid, it starts with number 1 on top and number 5 on the bottom. You can decide where to choose. Most people, we tend to find ourselves like on the lower level, whereby this is where actually we say that we are making, it's like we are living really, we are just making enough money to get us by. We're able to buy the food, you're able to pay your rent or your mortgage, possibly you have a car, daily expenses, but that's it. So you're not able to plan for the future. You're not able to plan to save some money for the emergency, for the rain day, but you're getting by. So when we look at this pyramid, all of us should ask ourselves, where do I need to be? Where should my family be? Do I need just to be just living by, just living for today, being able to eat, pay rent, my car, daily expense, and that's it? just in case something like I was to miss one paycheck, even the food is not going to be put on the table. So, but we want to be able to move up. That is what actually planning helps us to do. Proper planning, seriously, being financially free does not need to make a lot of money. Everything starts with planning. Again, we're talking about, we all do take trips, you take a trip for 5, 10 hours. If you don't have that GPS, a journey that could have taken you only 2 hours could end up taking you 10 hours because you going in rounds because you did not plan accordingly. Thankfully now a GPS is there. People used to print a map of but right now it's easier. So let us use the systems that we have in place for now to be able to not just cover the daily expenses, but be able to get on a level whereby we have that financial safety, the safety net, the security for our families, whereby we're not just eating, we're not just paying rent, but we are able to have emergence after actually covering the basics. These are the needs, the basic needs. But are we able to go above that? We can actually do it with the same amount of money you're making if you're able to plan well and be able to only actually manage what you're spending on. Sometimes really we spend our income on wants instead of the needs. Yes, we might want something. I might want to get an updated new car, but is that necessary? If I don't have enough emergency fund, just in case something goes to happen and I'm not able to bring the income. So we should always at least make sure. See, they are showing us actually statistics here saying that just about 47% of adults would have enough savings to cover 3 months of expense. Imagine that. Imagine you lose a job today and you can't even cover your 6 months. They're telling us 47%. They're talking about Americans here. They can be able to cover 3 months of expense. Imagine if you're to get sick and you're down for a year. Then what? Your kids are not able to work, to eat. Your house is not being able to be paid. If we have a car that is not paid off, it is going to be taken. So we really need to make sure that we plan with what we have. Don't wait until you're making, 6-figure. Start with what you have. Then you jump up. If you're able to plan accordingly, really exercise the planning that is helping you to jump into that financial freedom, you're going now to go beyond just emergency funds and securing or having that insurance, but you're going to be able to start accumulating wealth, right? Building the investment portfolios, saving for retirement, paying down your debts. Maybe you have a home, maybe you have credit cards, maybe you have student loans if you went to school here. Think about cutting those off. Sometimes we love seeing money in the bank, but if we can look on our statements and see how much of interest those banks are giving us, trust me, you wouldn't want to keep amount of money in the bank when the debt you have is costing you like 10, even 20 times what you're earning on your account. You would rather keep the emergency fund and start slowly paying off those big debts that are actually eating you slowly, because you're not going to be able to save if what you're paying in interest rates is way 10 times than what you're earning. So we jump from just being going around, but we're now able to start accumulating. We're thinking about the future. We're investing for our future. We're saving. We're starting to think, hey, I'm in my 40s, even 30s. The earlier you start, it's going to become easier for you actually to save without having to have any pressure. Because you're not saying that I have 10 years to live, not to retire, or 20 years. Now you have 40 years to retire. It can help you to put down that 5%, 10%, so that you can be able to actually secure your future without stress, like we're talking in the slides before. Then, now we're moving to our financial freedom we're talking about tonight. How do we get to that one? you're able now to make sure that you've secured your long-term care. That is when you're in retirement. You're not scared that what will happen to me when I'm older? Am I going to be pushed into a nursing home? Will I actually be able to afford that? Is my retirement savings safe and secure? Are my children's education safe? Am I able to travel and go for a vacation? Because I worked so hard during my young age. That is the power again of planning. Because this financial freedom, really, we should not be fooled that it can be only attained by people who are higher earners. Most of the time is attained by people who are able to plan well. Again, we have a statistic here saying that only 24% of Americans over 50 feel well prepared for retirement. Imagine that. Seriously, it hurts sometimes because everybody here works so hard. That's why we don't even get time to come to attend some of these important education because we're working so hard. But if only 24% of Americans actually feel secure and prepared, what happens to the 60s, to the 76%? They are living just down here. They are just being able to put food on their table, but they're not thinking about the time when they are retired and they're not able to go to work. So that is why we need really to think. Don't think like, oh, I'm a migrant here. I'm still getting here. I have enough time. Use the chance you have today. Secure everything. Put aside a percentage. Because at the end of the day, it does, even if you don't put that money on side, you're going to use it if you're not a good planner. So now we jump into legacy. Legacy goes beyond just you being financially free or financially secure, but now you're thinking about who you're going to leave behind. I'm thinking about my children, my grandchildren. I'm thinking about that estate planning. I'm thinking about tax planning, business succession. If I have a business, where am I going to leave my money? How am I going to leave it? Am I securing it? But you can't think about securing your legacy if you don't have any, if you have not built any. So this pyramid concerns all of us, not the rich people, not people who have been here 20 years, 10 years, everyone who is able to make any income. It's the simple roadmap to financial freedom. Again, we started with a plan. Financial planning is the key. Nobody should fool you that you have to make a lot of money, six-figure income to be able to save. Think about what you're earning and think about your needs, not just not your wants, but your needs. After paying all this, your food, your housing, your transportation, can you save $200 every month? Is that possible? Instead of possibly getting coffee every single day, sending $100 or $200 to your family and friends back home. Yes, it is good to share, but if you're sharing everything you have and you don't have emergency funds just in case something happens, if you're not covered, you don't have no insurance to cover for your family and yourself, if something was to hit you, everything you fought for so hard for is going to crumble. Think a little bit about this pyramid. Think about your family. Where are you standing now? If anything was to happen, would your family, the whole family crumble? Would you be able to get by a few months, 3 months, 6 months without you having to be able to work? That is where this life insurance, people tend to take it lightly, but it's something that can actually change your life. Because life insurance nowadays is not about you dying. That is why they call it life insurance. It's not for the dead, it is for the living, whereby if you're hit with a critical, a terminal, a chronic, and you're not able to go to work to pay for your basic needs, you know, it can come to your rescue and you'll be able to rescue your family, your home, your kids in school, even yourself. You'll be able actually to retire comfortably with that because you can actually accumulate money in that one. So most of the time when we have these discussions, it's 1 hour, but we are always here. We're just a phone call away. We have free actually, sessions for you and your family to see what your family needs, to see what you need to do with your family, because every family's financial plan is different based on what you make, what you need for the future. So we sit with you and your family and do a financial needs analysis and help you to secure that financial freedom we really all really need to do for the future. So, what are your greatest benefits? Sometimes we really think that, oh, my greatest income is actually like just the income. Is it really? It's my people. We think that it's my income, my business, my retirement account. In reality, your greatest asset is your ability to earn income and be able to save well for it. Because you can have an income and squander it. You may have a business and you're now planning how that business is going to go in 2, 5, 10 years to come. But you being able to earn income and be able to plan for it, that home, that business, that retirement account can be a greatest like asset if you're able to actually really do a good planning for it. So we see here your greatest asset should be your income. Your income is the engine that funds every financial goal you have. Yes, your income is your greatest asset to fund everything. But again, you have to remember that income is really very important for you and is an engine for everything, but do a good job in planning well for it. Then the time. Time is one of the most valuable assets in financial planning. Why do we say that? When do you start actually planning? When do you start investing? Are you in your 20s? Are you in your 30s? Are you still thinking you have enough time? Time waits for no one. You know, you may think you will start at 40, at 30, but you don't even know how your 30s are going to be. How about we start now? That's why they're telling you time is one of the most valuable assets in financial planning, because the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be in the future. Then the power of compounding growth. For people, I love the tool of using the index universal life insurance, whereby you have that power of compounding everything that you have. Imagine putting $50 in an account that is going to be compounding. So the principle you're putting in is compounding. What you're earning on it is compounding, and it is actually safer. So you stay consistent and let time work for you. You know, we always talk about the power of leveraging the systems. There are so great systems out there that if you do really plan so well, it will work for you. It will make you money while you're just sitting and enjoying it. So we always talk about the power of that financial planning and getting into the financial freedom we all want. But what actually stops us from getting there? What are the common financial mistakes most of us make? So again, we go back to the initial plan. Living without a plan. Living without a plan is planning to fail. I'm telling you, because you don't even know where you're going. Then procrastination is saying that, hey, I'm still young, I have enough time to save. Again, we saw that the power of time is your greatest power in saving for your future. Don't wait, because you don't know what you're waiting for. Your today might be better than your tomorrow. Then lack of protection, making everything and don't protect it. You're making the income, you have the investments, you have that beautiful home, you have a beautiful family that is lacking protection. How about you pick up that life insurance? Protect what you're making. Protect your future, you today, your tomorrow, and your future. Ignoring retirement. We all have seen, our beautiful adults, like elderly people in these stores in their 80s, greeters in Walmarts and everywhere. Do you think that is a choice? That is actually a consequence of poor planning, financial planning, because they always thought, oh, I still have time. I still have time. until there is no more time for them to do anything. So we don't want to wait. Do whatever you're doing now so that you can secure your future. How do we attain that? Financial education like this. That is why we are always here every single Thursday. We don't charge any money on this financial training. We said we come here to learn. This is our crusade we are on to make sure that no family, no community is left behind without knowing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. We do understand that everyone is not, an expert in financial planning. That is why we have financial professionals in our communities. Everyone has where their strongest, some people are educators, some people are medical professionals. We are here, we are financial doctors here, and we are willing to hold your hand to be able to know how to actually safeguard that money that you're making. So knowledge creates confidence and better decision making. Know what you're doing with your money. Work so hard to see that even if you're not a financial planner, there are financial planners out there who are willing to help you hold your hand and be able to safeguard what you're working so hard for. Retirement planning, create an income stream, plan ahead and protect your lifestyle. We all love to live like large, but living large today and go down tomorrow. I would rather start like living small and knowing that when I'm growing, my retirement is safe and secure. And don't just live just for yourself. Plan to leave a legacy. Transfer values, knowledge, and wealth to the future generation. We have children. We're going to have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Leave something behind. Could you leave money? Could you be an educator? Can you change someone's life? Do something in your power to leave a good legacy out there. So how do we all do that? If you're here and possibly you're new in starting to plan for your financial future, what can you do? We can think about maybe a few. There are so many. When you talk about this financial planning, you can find so many out there. But we start with a few. Review your finances. Where do you stand today? Are you really safe? If you could miss 2, 3, 4 checks, are you still stable? Are you still able to put roof on the children's heads? Are you still able to put food on your table? Build some savings. Again, you could do 5%, 10%, 20% if you can, but do something. Don't wait until you're able to do 50%. Start with the small that you have. Then, whatever you're building, please remember to protect it. When we talk about protecting income, we are talking about protecting you and your family, because your income, again, we saw that it is everything. Your income is everything. Without income, you have no home, you have nothing. So protect everything that you build. Again, we talk about protection, we talk about life insurance. You don't have to start on millions. Start where you can afford, but do something. Something small is better than having nothing. Then learn how to invest. Invest something. You make 100%, invest 5%, 10%, because what you're investing today is going to help you to live comfortably tomorrow. Review your plan regularly. Again, don't do it once and forget about it. If you actually started building your savings and you have life insurance, for example, you took it when you're 20, is it still working for you in your 40s? Keep checking to see whether what you have today is going to be good enough for the future. We keep reviewing everything. So again, as I said, this discussion is always open for us to actually discuss. I don't want to finish all the time. I want to hear from you. We want to learn together. But if you're here and you're invited by someone, please go back, sit with them. Let them sit with your family. Let them review your financial plan. Let them help you review what you have at the moment. Do a financial needs analysis with your family to see where you stand and where you can start if you're yet to start. If we have the contact numbers in there, I have my number there. It is on the flyer that you saw when you're coming in. Please do something. Don't wait until it's too late, because we want to make sure that we are all secure when we need the income. Again, we go back to that financial freedom, but it's always going to be there when you plan accordingly. And your planning is going to be to start now. Don't wait. Do everything you do when you're able to do it now. Let me stop here for now and open for all of us to be able to discuss. And I need to hear from you as well, as this is supposed to be an open discussion for us to be able to learn together. So open your mics, send something in the chat if you want to do that. Let me hear from you as well. Thank you for being so patiently here. So yeah, open your mic and do something you want to do here.
Yes, I may ask something. Thank you so much for the nice presentation. I have just a general question. Several of these, we all know generally that planning is smart. But I'm wondering, why is it that people delay or don't do it? So you did explain earlier, thinking that there's a lot of time, but what else can motivate people to plan earlier? And are there other tools maybe that can help people in planning instead of the traditional, maybe writing down on paper or trying to think about things? How can we put a plan on in a way that it's visible? If we need to go back and add notes to it, we can do it. Are there resources to help do that?
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Shawnee, for that great question here. So you're asking why people are not doing it. That's why we talked about procrastination, whereby people think that I still have time. Uh, time, time is one of the greatest asset we do have, as we saw that. But if we don't use it correctly, it might be a problem because we're going to lose it, right? So you're asking about if there, so we can do budgeting. First of all, if, for example, is someone who is starting like maybe you're done with college, you just got a job, you're thinking about, hey, now this I'm gonna get my first home. This I was living with my parents, now I'm getting a home, I'm getting a car. Do a budget. Look into your finances, what you're bringing in, what is going out, what is left out for you to be able to plan. But at the same time, we are here. So we offer these trainings every Thursday, but we don't just do it every Thursday. We are here every day. If you need help, if anyone needs help to do a financial needs analysis, to do a budget, let us know. We can help you to create those budgets. Those are the tools we know we use. So for budgeting, for planning, we look into every family, because every family has a financial need or a different financial capability. Someone who is finishing college might be making 50,000. They have no children. Someone who has been working 10, making 100,000, but they have 3, 4 children. Don't think that those two families are actually different. The difference is the ability to budget and see if they can do something. So I think most of the time the issue is the lack of education, which is why we are on these financial literacy crusades, educating people. And every Thursday we do tackle different topics. We do planning, those planning. We have done the financial needs analysis for our people to see how you can actually sit with your family and see how you can actually arrange or plan, do your budgeting and your financial planning. But we are here. We are financial professionals. We give you actually free consultations with your family to see where you can start. So let us not lack knowledge when we have free trainings like this. Those are resources that are here to facilitate our communities, our families, so that we can be able to live those financial freedom that we need. Thank you, Sharon. Hope that was clear.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. because I would just want to remind you that every Thursday we are here. So our theme is always financial literacy and money matters, because everything we do, we saw about how like the income is your actually foundation of everything. So we want to make sure that we're not illiterate here. We want to make sure that we know we have those tools in place. We tackle different topics, and we always call upon you. If we have something you want to see covered here, we are here for you. This is a crusade. This is for you guys. If you feel like you want to learn about something, let us know. We can cover that topic as long as it's in the lines of financial literacy. So we're not bound to one topic. We do cover different topics we have covered previously. If you're planning to buy a home, we have real estates in our team that will show you step by step how to actually get to that American dream. We have tax financial specialists here who help you to do your taxations and be able to save for the future and be able to buy those homes. We have actually all professionals in our team, but if you want to do like estate planning, we do those as well. If you want to do retirement planning, we do annuities. We do understand that some of our people rely on traditional 401k alone. That is a good thing, because I always tell my people, if you work with a company that is actually matching for you, contributing for you towards your financial, your retirement through 401k from your job, please seize every penny they give you. But at the same time, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. If your company is matching 5%, match 5% and put another 5% if you're putting 10 into possibly, you can do an index universal life. Index universal life, that is actually securing your income. It actually will help you to kill so many birds with one stone. That life insurance is going to protect you when you get sick. You access your living benefits when you get sick and you're not able to go to work. But remember, even if you're sick and you're not able to go to work, your bills are not going to stop. You need that security for your family and your income. It will come to your family's rescue. God forbid you're gone. Your family will have the death benefit to replace your income if you're no longer there. And you feel lucky, which is what we all need. If you live a long life, it's going to supplement your retirement. Again, so don't put all your eggs in the same basket because you feel like, hey, I do have a 401k at work, so that is enough. Remember, a 401k is a good tool for retirement, but you're putting pre-tax money, of which you're putting in your seeds before tax. You're going to be taxed on the proceed. You can imagine if you started actually contributing at 20 years old, and now you're 65. You've put in maybe $200 a month. I don't know. Maybe you have like, 100,000, 200,000 there. It's going to kick you up into a higher tax bracket, whereby you'll be surprised to pay about 45% of your actual savings. So you think you have 200, 300,000 for retirement, but almost half of it is going to be gone. Plus, it can be hit by the market. That is why we are talking about actually diversifying your options. When they say don't put all your eggs in the same basket, they mean it. Because if that basket falls, you're going to lose all your nest eggs. You don't want to do that. So diversify. And then I always talk to my professionals here, or anyone who works for a company that gives you a life insurance, what they call group life insurance. I've had that before for over 15 years without knowing. That is why this crusade is always here, to make sure that we understand the difference. That group life insurance you get from your job, it ends when you're there. If you leave the company, you don't move with it. If you die one day after you left the company, you're not going to access your money. If you're hit with a critical illness, it doesn't have the living benefits. You can only access it if you die while still working with company ABC. So how about you get your private life insurance that moves with you? You move wherever you move, it moves with you. That's when we talk about actually being intentional in everything you do for yourself and your family. We're not saying don't get anything you get from your job. get it. But again, have options. You always have to make sure that your family has options. You don't want to put everything together, and when you lose it, I had a client was telling me that she had an insurance from her job. She actually switched the job like this week. Next week, a tragedy happened to her child. They had a family insurance through the job, the group life. The moment she switched her job, she lost her son. She went to the previous job. They were like, hey, you had already stopped working here. To the new job, it was yet to kick in. So you don't want to go into those transitions for sure, because we have different options for your life insurance. You can do whichever works for your family. We don't tell you to pick 5 million, 1 million. Take what your family can afford. Affordability is the key. That is part of planning. If you overplan for something you can't manage, you're not going to be able to manage it. Plan again accordingly, according to your needs and your affordability. We always want to remind people, work within your means. The important part is not to get too much, is start planning as you can afford. All right. Any other comment, question here before we wrap it up? We do respect your time. I want to make sure that we end, but those who came a little late, this conversation is always recorded. We will share for you to go back and start if you came in a little late. And we always appreciate your time. We understand time here is money, but again, we saw that one of the tools that helps us is the time. So use your time wisely. You could be somewhere possibly watching TV and the news that is never good, but you chose to be here, and we do appreciate that. Our sister here is asking if we can, that is actually the beauty of being here. So yes, everything was done in English, but she's requesting if we can summarize a little bit in what we have talked about, which is really what we always encourage people. If you come in and you're not able to understand everything we do in English, you can always ask in the language you feel comfortable with. We have people who speak different languages here. Never feel like you can't ask your question, because we have people who speak all the languages here. We are willing to be here to help and learn with you, with your community, with your family. So this is a crusade we are on. We don't want anybody to be left behind, not knowing what to do, because we are here. All right, it's 6 minutes past the hour. I want to thank you once again. We appreciate your time. If you have a minute, we have the same link, same time. Always come and join us. If you have something, a question, one or two, don't be shy. You can even jot it down here in the chat, or you can raise your hand. We are family here again. We learn together. A family that learns together grows stronger together. So you have a great night. See you again next week. Look out for the recording tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much.